Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories.
After all the horror stories you hear about bachelorette parties, you'd think women who considers themselves worthy of marriage would just stop doing it, period. But nope, and in this one, the guy didn't even have a hard time finding out about what was happening at his fiance's party. Let's read the story. Original post: I can't believe I'm involved in a story like this. I haven't actually talked to anyone about what happened even though a lot of people are trying. I think I just need to vent a little bit before I talk to anyone. My girlfriend and I were together 4 years and we were engaged to be married. Last weekend she had her bachelorette party. I didn't have a problem with it, especially after what she told me was the plan. Her and some friends were going to rent an Airbnb or something, a big place with like 4 bedrooms, and they were just going to get trashed and party and hang out. The day of the party she was at my place, a 2-bedroom apartment. One room I use as a home office. I am a self-employed investor. She makes all of the arrangements and goes to meet her friends. We texted a little, but as the party warmed up, we stopped and I figured they were just having fun. After midnight, I start getting ready for bed and notice that the computer in my office isn't turned off. Rather, the black screen was just a screensaver. It turns out fiancé had not logged out and her messenger was still open on the computer. There was a group chat where her and the girls had been planning everything, and a lot of videos were uploaded to the chat. I was a little curious and I started watching some of the videos. Most of them were pretty innocent, just a group of 15 girls getting drunk and stoned, and dancing and whatever. Then there was a video of a woman going to the front door and about 10 guys enter the apartment. I don't know who they were and I didn't recognize anyone. There were a couple videos of the guys and girls dancing and drinking. And then the worst happened. A video started of my fiancé making out with a guy on the sofa. She stops and rolls over and starts making out with a second guy. Then there was a video of her and the 2 guys going into a bedroom. There was also a video of them coming out, that according to the timestamps was 5 minutes later. But that doesn't mean anything. For all I know, the videos were an hour apart and they were all just uploaded at the same time. Seeing all this was like a sledgehammer to a guy. I walked into the bathroom because I thought I would be sick. I wasn't, but I feel like I paced back and forth in the apartment for about 30 minutes. Then I poured myself a rocks glass full of whiskey and chugged it down. I saved the videos, and then made one of my own, just a short little selfie video of me saying, "Hi, this is Bob, your ex-fiancé. Just wanted to say I saw the videos from the party, and the wedding is off. I hope it was worth it." I'm glad I saved the videos, because in less than 10 minutes they were all deleted and my phone started blowing up. But I didn't answer any calls or texts. At first it was just my girlfriend texting saying she can explain and it's not what it looked like. Then her friends joined in, but I ignored everyone and didn't respond. Then suddenly I got a request for a video chat, and I'll admit my curiosity got the better of me. I answered the call but didn't say anything. It was my fiancé sitting in front of the camera and she looked like she had been crying. And the other friends just around her. I really only know maybe 4 of the friends but I recognize a lot of the others. First she started apologizing, but kept saying it wasn't what it looked like. It was just a party and the guys coming over was not planned or anything like that. She said it might have looked bad but nothing happened. When I didn't say anything, she just kept going on with more of the same and her friends backed her up. The more I didn't speak, the more hysterical she got. Eventually she admitted to kissing the 2 guys but dumped the blame on her friends, who all took responsibility for that, which surprised me a little. She said the kisses didn't mean anything and that's all that happened. Then she seemed to remember the video of her going into the bedroom, and she started screaming that it was just a joke and nothing happened. All the other women confirmed it was just a joke, and that my fiancé had walked into the room and then turned around and walked out again. This just kept going on, and they just kept repeating themselves. Eventually everyone got quiet and all I said was, "Is there anything else to add?" She said no, and I just ended the video call. I went onto social media and changed my relationship status to single and posted that the wedding was off, and if anyone had bought a present, they should feel free to return it. Fiancé saw the post and is freaking out even more and just keeps insisting that all she did was kiss and nothing else. I sent her a text saying that if I suspect that her or any of her friends lie about what happened or try to make me the bad guy, then I will post all the videos online. Right now, no one else knows what is happening. This was a couple days ago and everything for the wedding is cancelled, and my fiancé just keeps pursuing me. Any advice on what I should do from here? Now for the top advice before reading the update. You made the right call. Her friends are on her side, right or wrong. You will never get the full truth. No reason to put yourself through any more pain and drama. Plus, for some people, seeing your fiancé kissing 2 guys would be enough to call off the wedding. It would at least get a postponement from me, and probably more depending on the circumstances. I would be done. This is why these pre-wedding single parties tend not to end well. It's friends baiting cheating without the partner knowing. If you want to verify if more did or did not happen, demand the original videos of her entering and leaving the bedroom. These timestamps should tell you if she refuses or makes excuses why they cannot provide the footage. This also gives you your answer. I hadn't thought of that, thanks for the tip. Isn't the kissing enough to end it, even if she didn't get double-teamed? But she did. Wouldn't making out with two dudes at a party be enough to end it? She didn't even admit to it at first, and only admitted to it because it was actually on video. You already know it wasn't on video though. And besides all this, her poor decisions broke your trust in her. Do not marry someone you do not trust. I thought it might be good for my own peace of mind, just so I'm not always wondering. Start with the most generous explanation possible. Her friends invited the guys over without her knowing. She chose to kiss them, but did nothing in the bedroom. If that is an irreparable violation of trust for you, nothing more to do. You are done, except for sorting the possessions. If it isn't a total absolute deal breaker, more work to do. Find out what actually happened. Ask her to figure out why it happened and how it would never happen again. Then decide if you can rebuild trust and whether you are up for that. And now for the update. Thanks for everyone who commented and sent private messages. I wasn't sure if writing here would help, but it did. And the signs of support were really helpful. So thanks again. The update is pretty simple. Everything has been called off and cancelled. The wedding is officially not happening. I got the ring back and all of her stuff is moved out. She is staying with her parents for now. We did talk a little bit. It was mostly just her begging and apologizing and crying. She keeps insisting that all she did was kiss the guys, and that she has never done anything like this before, and she promises it will never happen again. Part of me really wanted to believe her, but the problem is that this incident puts our entire relationship in doubt. I think she may be telling the truth, but again the point is, there is no way to know. If it is true that her friends pressured her to do it, then how can I believe they never did it before? We kept going around in circles, because ultimately there is just no way I can be sure. She said she would do anything including cutting off her friends and only ever drink around me. She really blasted her friends online saying if at the party had stuck to the original plan, she would still be getting married, so maybe she already cut them off. All I can say is that, at the moment, I am single and I'm just going to live my life. Probably take some time to myself after getting out of a 4-year relationship. What's crazy is that a couple of her friends are also texting me just to talk. I haven't responded yet, because, well, it's hard to trust them too. Thanks again to everyone who expressed sympathy, and I hope none of you here need to deal with anything like this in the future. You are 100% in the right. Don't doubt yourself and stick to your guns. The only person at fault is her, not her friends. 100%, and it's good to see someone who respects themselves enough to immediately call off the wedding and not accept her BS like we see so often here. Exactly, it's great to see some backbone. Too many people have this stupid notion of don't ruin a good thing, and are so quick to forgive cheating and worse, even though infidelity is the reason it's ruined, and not because the victim walked away. She keeps trying to feed you lies to get you to come back, and when that doesn't work, she's throwing everyone else under the bus so she doesn't have to just admit what she did was wrong. It won't happen again. I was pressured. It's because we didn't stick to the original plan. It's not what it looks like. It's not that bad. All we did was kiss. You absolutely cannot trust her to tell you the truth because she's not even being honest with you. There's no excuse. She just did a really awful thing she didn't need to do. It's not like she did it with one guy too. She did it with two. You're also right if all it takes is her friends to pressure her. How do you even know this is the first time, or even be the last time? That's not a good excuse. Also, she still could have very easily said no and left, or just not made out with both men. You should continue to ignore her friends. They don't have your best interest at heart. They're probably just gonna tell you it was a mistake, except it's not. I say that if OP does stay, he will get the trickle truth, and it will be long and drawn out. Also, Rug's sweeping the situation for the most part after they get back together, since she is already blaming others to take the blame off herself. Also, her friends talking to OP on her behalf are the same friends probably covering for her cheating, and they are biased and can't be trusted. Even if she did blast them on social media, they might have been in agreement for her to do that, to help her get OP back. OP, if no one has recommended it already, get an STD test. The narc's prayer fits well here. That didn't happen, and if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, that's not a big deal. And if it is, that's not my fault. Currently you are at fault here. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. You did the right thing. Now for the last story. Wife cheated and is now trying to justify her reasons why. Plus update. My wife and I have been together about 12 years and married for 6. We own a home and have 2 children together. When we got together, she was 19 and I was 24. I thought we had a good marriage. We go on trips, concerts, camping, etc., and we rarely fight. Honestly, one of the only things I would have said is a problem is our intimate life is a bit lacking. She takes Prozac, and one of the side effects is low drive, so we only do it about once a month. She's usually only on around ovulation time. I've had a vasectomy, so no worries about unwanted pregnancy. I have learned to live with once a month, but realistically I would rather have it at least once a week. In the past 6 months or so, she's been going out to the bar with friends on the weekends. Not even every weekend, more like every other weekend. I've gone with a few times and we had fun. Usually though I will stay home with the kids so that we won't need a babysitter. I've been trusting of her. About 2 months ago she was out and didn't come home at bar close. I texted her and asked, "What's up? Need a ride?" And she said she was at a party at someone's house after the bar. She didn't get home until 8 a.m. and said she wasn't feeling well and passed out there. I thought that was odd, but chose to believe her. Then she's also been purchasing lingerie. She sent me like 2 sexy pictures in her lingerie, but there are a few outfits I've never even seen her in. So, I was starting to get suspicious. But then I thought maybe she's just trying to spice up our bedroom life. Well, yesterday she left her phone out, and I snooped on the album, and surely there was several pics I've never seen. I know she uses Snapchat a lot, while I don't have Snapchat myself. So I checked her Snapchat, and found weeks worth of pictures and messages to 2 different guys. She had lingerie pictures, private photos, and messages about hooking up. One of the guys she has been texting doesn't actually say anything about them doing it. It looks like she was just sending him pictures, but I only had a limited time to look. But the other guy, they were messaging about sleeping around and planning another meetup this weekend. I closed the phone there. There may have been more than those 2 guys, but I didn't want her to catch me. And also, I got all the evidence I needed. I was shaking furious. I planned to wait to confront her, but I couldn't hold it in. I held it in until after the kids were in bed. I told her what I found, and she got mad at me for invading her private messages. To provide context, I leave my Facebook and Twitter signed in on the computer. She can, and does, read my messages whenever she wants, so that argument doesn't hold weight. I said she's just mad she got caught. I had to leave and go for a walk to cool down. When I returned, we had a talk. I told her that I trusted her and she betrayed that trust. I can never trust her the same again. She said that she cheated because she's unhappy and she's been with me since she was 19, and she wants to find out who she is. I told her that is when you ask for divorce or separation, not just go behind my back. She also said that it wasn't that bad, it was just texting. I told her she was sending private photos. She said no. I showed her a screenshot, and she said, "That's just topless." Then I mentioned the messages from the guy about busting on her, and how they're meeting again this weekend. She said they didn't really do it, only kind of. How do you kind of just do it? It's either you did or didn't. She said she's allowed to make mistakes. I told her this is not a mistake. Getting drunk and fooling around once is a mistake. Messaging someone for weeks on end and planning meetings is not an accident. So many thoughts in my head. I'm thinking about divorce, but it's so hard. I can't really afford a lawyer. I don't know what will happen with the house and custody of the kids. I'm also thinking of marriage counseling. I don't know if this is fixable. If she would have told me she was that unhappy, I could have tried to change or whatever she needed, but she never even told me. Then she said she doesn't want to leave me and wants an open relationship. I'm not a ladies' man, I told her, so you think that would be fair? She would be hooking up every weekend and I would be lucky to score once a year outside the marriage. That was such a ridiculous idea that it's almost laughable. I even told her if she seriously wanted to explore, we could have tried to swing with another couple. I would have considered that if she told me that our relationship would be over otherwise. She also told me that she gets some excitement from sending sexy pics and getting a reaction out of people. She said that I look at nude women online and she never complained. I told her looking at a model online and messaging a local guy for hookups is totally 100% different. Another thing is her Prozac. How does it kill her drive to the point that we only do it once a month, but she's on enough to seek it outside the marriage? I am looking to set up an appointment, but for a divorce lawyer or a marriage counselor. Edit to add, I reached out to the guy she's been hooking up with and got no response. I was able to find his address from property tax records. I went over to his house and told him, "You don't know me. I don't know you. Stop all communication with my wife and we won't have any issues going forward. But if you keep interfering with the well-being of my family, then things can get ugly." He agreed to stop contacting her. Then I told her I went to his house, and she said I crossed the line. I crossed the line, not the cheaters. Whatever. Now for the top advice before reading the little update. Wow, narcissistic behavior. This marriage is over, my friend. Money spent on a lawyer now is going to save you financially and emotionally in the long run. I have heard every reason in the book, and they are all hogwash. The reason cheaters cheat is because they want to. Anything else they tell you is just BS. Yep, you got it. She cheated because she wanted to cheat. Her reasons for cheating are just her attempts to alleviate her conscience of guilt. It's all BS. You're doing everything wrong. Waste of time to reach out to affair partners. They owe you nothing, and certainly won't grant it. There is a 100% chance this ends in divorce. She lacks remorse for her actions and no longer sees you as anyone other than the father of her children. She no longer has any romantic interest in you. The open relationship is complete gaslighting. She absolutely slept with that guy and is lying about the details. This is now a toxic environment for your children. Implement the 180 and start gray rocking. Plan for divorce. She shows zero remorse for her actions and no empathy for your feelings. You can't even be her friend right now. Y'all are co-parents figuring out the divorce and how to separate. Don't waste any more time communicating with a remorseless partner and start planning a life without her. Now for the little update. To thank everyone, I read every response and I reached out to 2 close friends. It's unanimous that I should file for divorce. And the reasoning makes sense. She's not remorseful and gaslighting me into thinking that I need to improve to fix this. And she did try talking me into an open marriage so she can just continue cheating.
Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. Am I the idiot for refusing to take care of my kid? My friend, 26 female, and I, 26 male, go back since elementary, and we have been close friends since then. Our families are also close, so I don't have any attraction to her as a girlfriend. I see her like a sister. Most of my girlfriends have been okay with her, and I try to make it clear the divide we have as friends. My fiancé is close friends with my friend, and has been friends with her since before our relationship, and so it hasn't been any issues until now. Recently we had a get-together, where my friend said she couldn't drink since she was pregnant. We were all shocked since she was single, and she admitted that she fooled around with her ex, and that might have gotten her pregnant. Her ex is across the country and not a good guy, so she really messed up her life with this. I asked her if she was going to keep the baby, thinking she might not, but she exclaimed she would, because I could help her raise it. My girlfriend stared at her, and I managed to ask why she thought that. She said we were best friends, so I would be the father and help raise the child. I asked her, where did you get that idea? And she got annoyed and said, you were always there for me and already like a husband, so I should be there for her son like a father. I was shocked, because yes, if she need help with her car, I used to be a mechanic. I would help since she makes minimum wage and can't afford one. But I didn't think she would take it as me wanting to be her child's father, or help raise it. I took a deep breath and told her I would always be her friend. But I'm not the father, so I'm not helping to raise her child. And I'm not going to take a father role. She got mad and yelled at me for abandoning her, and started crying. A few of my friends were shaking their heads and called me later to tell me I should have been nicer. But I felt like if I was nicer, she wouldn't have gotten it. And I wanted to make the situation crystal clear. My fiancé is mad because obviously it's caused a huge mess. My saving grace is that my fiancé and I were in another place visiting her family, and traveling for the month when the baby was conceived, so no one thinks I'm the actual father. My friend has been trying to call me, and I'm not sure if I should respond. Now for the top comments. Not the idiot. Her thinking she could dump the responsibility of parenthood on you like this is just ridiculous. I'm hoping she's just not thinking clearly right now, and not that she's just this selfish of a person. Reminds me of the married daughter who planned for and became pregnant, then told her father she expected him to babysit/raise the kid, because she did not want to change her lifestyle. Reminds me of the roommate with a child who wanted the OP, who was not the father, to pay child support and help raise the child. She claimed her child imprinted on the OP. Guess they were werewolves or something. Not the idiot. You needed to shut it down firmly and completely. Tell all those friends they can step up and be a father for her child. Exactly. She needs to understand what her options are in reality, before it's too late to terminate the pregnancy. That is if she even lives in a state that will allow her to. Not the idiot. Run. Run away. Run away very fast. Yeah, OP needs to distance himself of this friend, or he'll end up fathering a child that has zero relations to him and without his fiancé, because of this so-called friend. Yes, listen to this OP, and run. This story will get morphed and massaged if you don't shut it down. To everyone. Just in that brief interaction, it went from, you've always been there for me, and became, you're abandoning us. I give it 2 months, and you'll hear back that you're actually the father. You're not. You know you're not, but who are people going to side with? The crying pregnant woman, or the engaged dude talking about how he's not the father? Not the idiot. Time to help your friend get some therapy, and for you to step back fast. Next story. Am I the idiot for ruining my brother's marriage because his wife left me at the pool? This whole situation is so bizarre that I still can't really process it. It still doesn't feel real, but I feel scared and guilty. I, 19 female, had surgery a couple days ago to get all 4 of my wisdom teeth out. And because I have a really bad fear of dentists, they had to drug me pretty hard to do the removal. Not like laughing gas that wears off really fast, but actual IV medicine. So I was pretty much unconscious during the whole thing. They told me to have a responsible adult drive me to the appointment and back, because the meds they gave me would make it dangerous to drive. My mom was on a work trip and couldn't take me, so I asked my sister-in-law Bri 24, not her real name, if she could do it, as the whole thing would only take an hour or 2. I even offered gas money because the dental office is about 45 minutes away. I would have asked my brother, but he works during the day, while Bri is a stay-at-home mom to their 2-year-old daughter who I think was at Bri's mom's house that day. Bri agreed to take me to my appointment, and the surgery went fine. Bri waited in the lobby for me to be done. When I came out of anesthesia, I was very disoriented and nauseous, which I guess is normal. I had gauze shoved in my mouth to stop any bleeding, and Bri took me to her car after I was let go. I don't really remember much of the drive, but it felt like not enough time passed before Bri got out of the car and told me to come with her. I was really out of it and just followed her, because the alternative was staying in the hot car. Long story short, we were at a pool. I was really confused, but once we were through the gate, Bri basically parked me at one of those little table benches, said she'd be back in a while. I was still trying not to puke and was really dizzy from the 90+ degree heat and the meds, so I asked her to take me home. But she wouldn't. I guess since it was her day off and she didn't have my niece, she was meeting friends at the pool. I was starting to feel really sick and on the verge of passing out or having a panic attack, so I called my brother. I don't think he could understand me between the meds and the stuff in my mouth, because he hung up and I guess called Bri, because she came stomping back over, cussing and yelling at me, and took me back to the car. I passed out on the drive home, but when we arrived, my brother had left work and met us in the driveway. He was screaming at Bri and she was crying. I was still pretty disoriented, but my brother took me back home and stayed with me until the meds wore off. That's when he told me he's divorcing Bri because of what she did, plus some other things he didn't go into detail about. It's been a few days since then and Bri has been blowing up my phone, telling me what a witch I am, and how me tattling destroyed her family. Part of me feels bad because of my niece, and I wonder if I should have just dealt with it and waited for her to be done at the pool, instead of calling my brother and causing problems. Am I in the wrong? He's divorcing Bri because of what she did, plus some other things. OP, you are not the reason they're getting a divorce, but if you find out the reason, please come back and update because inquiring minds want to know. Not the idiot. That's exactly it. This is the one that broke the camel's back. I wouldn't be surprised if she mistreats the niece or ditches her parental responsibility to have fun with friends, and this was the last straw. To be honest, it was a pretty big straw. To me, it's literally instant divorce reason, from 0 to 100. OP could have died. If my fiancé had neglected my sister like that, after agreeing to do the supervision, she would be out yesterday. That said, OP is obviously not at fault. People who do bad things always blame the snitch. Well, OP has the stitches already. But yeah, sister-in-law dug her own grave here. At least she didn't dig OP's. Exactly, on meds like that, in her condition, she easily could have stumbled into the pool and drowned. Like, there is a reason you are required to have a responsible adult to get you home safely. Not the idiot, not remotely, and you did not ruin their marriage. The other things your brother didn't detail. Sounds like Bri's treatment of you was a last straw. Since Bri referred to it as tattling, there is a good chance she was lying to your brother about what she was doing that day. Maybe he was mad that Bri lied about who was watching their daughter. Maybe she was meeting some guy at the pool, or had been obviously thirsty over the lifeguard. Whatever it was more than the already vile behavior of leaving someone in pain and doped to the gills, just parked in the heat while she had fun at the pool. This is in no way your fault. Not the idiot. Next story is titled, Am I the idiot for pulling all my money from the account after he refused to stop making comments about me getting a job? 30 female, and I'm currently unemployed for the first time since I was 15. Even prior to when I would switch jobs, I already had employment lined up, so there was never a break between paychecks. My husband will have dry spells where he won't work for some months at a time, get a job, and hardly ever sticks with it for more than 6 months before he quits and takes a break. I didn't quit my last job. The company went belly up and didn't tell us until people were coming in and shutting us down. I've been 1 month without a steady income, but I've been searching endlessly. This all came to a standstill when my husband's engine blew up in his car. So now, he takes mine to work and leaves me at the house. So now I need something from home, and it's damn near impossible, If you know of anything remote entry level that doesn't require degrees, please let me know. Currently, my husband works Monday to Friday 8 to 4 and just got a pay raise/promotion 2 weeks ago. Since he got his promotion, he has been breathing down my neck about me getting a job. He sees all the applications I've sent out and still comments on it as if that will help the situation. I currently have $8,600 sitting in the bank from my last job, which would pay our rent for 8 months, so his comments are really starting to anger me, and I've told him several times to get off my case. I've even suggested I go and work with him because he is taking my car and making things impossible, and he apparently doesn't think it's a good idea. Anyways, he started in with the whole my money argument, but only when it's convenient for him. Like when he refers to tax returns, it's our money. I get significantly more back than he does. But when it comes to other stuff, he says my money this, my money that, and it only just started when he got the promotion. He had no problem living off my money though the entire time he was unemployed because that was our money. Like I said though, I have money stashed so I don't need anything from him. But he made a comment the other day saying, "You need a freaking job," and it was the last straw for me, so I took my car and left to go withdraw every penny I had in the bank account and stick it in an account he can't touch. That left him with a little over $900 because the rest of the thousands were mine. He flips out and says I'm being financially controlling, when in all actuality, it's him. Am I wrong? You know what? Tomorrow, I'll drive around and hand out resumes using my car. Then I'll take my money and find a place to stay, because I'm not interested in a relationship where I'm supportive when you don't have a job for months on end, and you're being an asshole right back the second I'm without one. Enjoy your money in your car, not the idiot. This is exactly the right amount of pettiness. I love it. OP, please do this. Protecting yourself and standing up for yourself isn't petty. Taking back your property and money when someone keeps disrespecting you and downplaying your contributions isn't being petty. I know your heart is in the right place because you're saying you support what she's doing, but we gotta stop framing it as being petty when someone just refuses to be used. Keep your money in your account and take your car back too. If he wants to play the mind game like a temper tantruming 2-year-old, just show him exactly how much is his, not the idiot. I'm going to have to do this with my boyfriend soon. He thinks we pay 50-50 on everything, and I have the math to show it's more like 75-25, me taking the brunt of the financial issues. He even got a referral bonus from work which he immediately used to buy himself a PS4, but made a side comment about me using my incoming bonus to buy him shoes. Kinda waiting for him to blow up on that to put him in his place. Not the idiot, and good for you. Keep your money separate and only pay for your portion of things, and also take back your car since you know it's yours. If he's going to pull the my money game, then he can suck it up and go buy his own car. I very rarely advocate for separate finances in a marriage, but in this case it is time to erect a lead wall between your finances and his. Let him live off of his largesse, and from now on he is responsible for 50% of all household expenses, his own transportation in all circumstances, all automotive costs from insurance to license and registration, and all of his own expenses. Why would you advocate against separate finances? My partner and I decided a long time ago that all shared expenses would be split 50-50. We have the ability to transfer money directly to each other for bills that one of us pays. But for all discretionary spending, we keep everything separate. That way we can't run into the exact type of issue OP is talking about. What do you see as a negative about that? Now for the last story. Am I the idiot for telling my mother-in-law that she needs to compromise to stay with us? My in-laws are getting a divorce. Only reason I can get is that he is done dealing with her. Despite being in their 70s, my father-in-law decided to go about it the worst possible way and is currently forcing freezes on their bank accounts and managed to kick her out of the house. She needs a place to stay for at least a few months, and now she's coming to my husband and I for help. Of course, I'm not going to leave someone I actually know who's vulnerable go out on the street, but unfortunately the help we can give is limited. We can only offer her the Dave that's in the living room. She's not okay with this and wants not only a bedroom, but a living condition in our house that isn't possible with what the house is. She wants a bedroom with an en-suite, so she can be able to be separate from everyone else in the house for hygienic reasons. Well, me too, and there isn't an en-suite bedroom in the house. The bedroom I share with my husband kind of is, but that bathroom is also accessible from the kitchen, and I'm not going to ban everyone else from using it when there would be 4 other people in the house. There isn't even an available bedroom. My husband wants to force my sister to be on the day bed, because she doesn't pay rent and is on disability. But that's not fair. My sister may not work or pay rent, but she provides all of our childcare needs for our daughter, technically owns half the house because it's from our parents, and pays for the entire household's groceries. She absolutely should be here and have a bedroom. Our daughter also needs a bedroom. With how small the house is, 1,200 square feet, all of her toys and books need to stay in one room anyway, her room. My husband and I giving up our bedroom to my mother-in-law doesn't make sense either. Putting one person in a queen and two people on a twin. No, mother-in-law says she wouldn't feel safe on the daybed, and is appalled that we're so disrespectful to our elders. I don't hate her, and my parents would be weirded out by it too, but it feels like times have changed and she has to deal with it here. My husband and mother-in-law both got angry at me for not even being willing to give her a bedroom so she can feel a little bit safe. There's nobody here that it would make sense to displace. Even if I gave her my daughter's bedroom, she would need to spend almost as much time there as she does now because her stuff can't be moved. My husband thinks that I'm holding my family over his, and acting like real help is somehow first come, first served. Of course not, but between my mother's and my husband's medical bills, we don't have spare money. We're stable, but it is not an option to get a larger place or help her financially at all. It's not like his sister can help her because she lives in a studio, but I'm at least offering something. They've been on me for days about this and I don't know what to do. Am I missing something here? Not the idiot. She wants you to kick somebody out to make room for you, and your husband agrees. Maybe your husband and his mother can go live somewhere else together. Not just that, she wants to displace someone who owns the home. Yeah, the idea that her sister should be paying rent when she's half owner of the home is screwed, and she provides childcare and food. I bet if OP actually calculated her sister's contributions in dollars, husband would have to eat crow. Not the idiot. Your option for her is spot on. Your sister has a right to the home and is doing so much for your family. Your child is, well, your child. It's her house too. Mother-in-law is a temporary guest. She also needs to figure out her own situation as she's an adult. Your husband can help her navigate the courts, finding a place, and so on. People who are without a place to stay should be grateful for a place to stay. The daybed is safe. 1. I would expect the next move will be mother-in-law can take care of your daughter, and your sister should be booted out. Watch for this, it will make sense to mother-in-law as she's there. 2. Moving her into any of the bedrooms will make it much harder for her to leave. She needs to be a bit uncomfortable to honestly accept her situation. 3. Husband and mother-in-law will make your life difficult. As a last resort, remind your husband that the house is yours and your sister's. I think it's generous and right to offer her the daybed for the time being, but I wouldn't encourage her displacing those who live in the home. Do not let mother-in-law get her feet too far under the table, or you'll never see the back of her. Your husband also needs to grow a spine here and back you up.